What is going on, everybody? I'm Adrian, Rev, ADB. I'm going to be reacting to Death Battle's Link versus Cloud rematch. I have no idea how this is going to go. I made sure to get a subscription to Rooster Teeth so that I wouldn't have the fight spoiled for me, having to wait an extra day to watch it on YouTube. But if you're watching this, it means it's at least the day after the fight came out, just so it's uploaded to YouTube the same day as theirs. We're rooting for Link, we're rooting for our boy from Hyrule, but you never know how these rematches are going to go. Yeah, Goku still lost in his rematch with Superman, but Mario beat Sonic in his rematch, and honestly, I just hope that they don't nerf Link too much, and I hope that they use a consistent scaling method. If our boy Link loses, well, that's fine, because he's still hero of Hyrule. But it's also not bad for me because I'm trying to get into the Final Fantasy series now. I'm actually going to I'm going to get a PS4 and get Final Fantasy VII Remake and start streaming that on the channel. So, yeah, I started playing as Cloud in Smash Brothers, so I really have no problem with Cloud at all. If Cloud wins this altercation, I just hope we get a good fight and a good fair fight, So I'm all ready for this. So I think it's go time. Episode is almost 17 minutes long. I saw the previews they put up on YouTube, and I've avoided any image spoilers the best I can. So let's get started. Link versus Cloud Death Battle rematch.
Link, the courageous and determined hero of Hyrule.
Cloud Stripe, sword-swinging, spiky-haired Sephiroth Slayer.
Each are powerful warriors in their own right, but in a fight to the death, which one will win?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
They're not using Hyrule Warriors or
to analyze
Dissidia.
their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the land of Hyrule was a hero so great, even a goddess favored him. Destined to wield the Triforce of Courage, he fought for his people until his dying breath. Moreover, he was chosen to be reincarnated through time to continue defending against evil. This hero's name was Link.
Since Link's spirit had been reborn over and over, technically that means most Links are kind of the same guy.
He's like
It's a
5'7" in
real
Breath of the Wild,
Link to the
not
past.
4'10".
Which is probably why he's so skilled with tons of different weapons, like his Hylian shield, and of course, the Master Sword.
The Master Sword is no ordinary blade. Infused with sacred energy, it is evil's bane incarnate, capable of destroying magical barriers, dispelling curses, and slaying immortal monsters.
But nothing's more badass than its laser beams and skyward strike. He can even charge it with lightning. You like that, like?
Link's carried hammers, clubs, spears, even boomerangs, and his talent with a bow is second to none. He has fire, ice, and shock arrows, and his light arrows possess holy magic.
Yep.
But the ancient arrows instantly consign foes to oblivion, appearing to either transport them to another dimension or crush them into nothingness.
And these souped-up weapons have come in handy. Link's had his
But they
fair
don't
share
work
of
on
tussles
Ganon.
defending the world from foes like
They don't
Ganon, Vati, and Majora.
Link
Obliterate
has survived
Ganon.
rolling through lava, and while wearing the Golden Gauntlet or Titan's Mitts, been strong enough to lift stone weighing well over 10,000 tons.
And the Force Sword lets him split up into copies of himself.
They
Talk about
increased
multitasking.
that
With
stone's
the
weight
Ocarina
by
of
10
Time,
times
Link
since
can
the last
summon
one.
storms, teleport across the land, and even travel through time with song.
But some of that doesn't hold a candle to the Sheikah Slate. That thing
Uh-oh.
can set remote
This
bombs,
is new.
move objects magnetically, and totally stop time for things. And it can summon his Master Cycle Zero.
Motorcycles are all well and good, but his sailcloth is certainly a more elegant way to move around.
So he's got a lot of cool stuff, but sometimes he's got to get sneaky about it. While he may be tough, Link can't always win fights with brute force.
His claw shots are perfect for maneuvering around the environment, and his magic cape can turn him invisible.
I can think of a lot of ways that would come in handy.
Well, let's see. Dummy. Dummy.
Haha, got ya.
You know, Link's weapons are very effective against sassy robots.
Ooh, you can't see me coming now, can ya? Ha! Hey, why didn't you get hit?
Right, the magic cape also turns Link intangible.
Huh. Well, guess there's no punch line. Anyway, did you know Link's fast enough to roll away from BMOS lasers? Which are actual light beams. They burn things, move in a straight line, and the guide says they're lasers, so... there.
As you can see, Link can dodge this laser at the moment it's fired. Given the distance between the two and the time frame, he would have to be moving 2 feet in just under 2 billionths of a second. About 1/10 the speed of light.
Now that's a reason to say, "Excuse me, princess," because if he didn't, no one would get out of the way in time.
But one item Link has isn't simply a mere vehicle to increase his speed or strength. The Triforce of Courage.
Or the full
a holy
Triforce.
relic that offers mystic power to its bearer, including protection from transmutation.
Really?
He's got some other spells
A
too.
couple of Links
like
have had the
shielding
full
and
Triforce,
healing,
though.
And his fairy spell lets him literally just turn into a fairy. Oh, look at him. Gets all tiny and he can fly around. Get the fly swatter.
Link's also been granted magic by great fairies and spirits of past Hylian champions. Mipha's Grace can even revive
Good, they're
him
giving
to
him the
full
champion's
health
abilities.
after death.
And if all this wasn't enough for him to just trash his opponents, Link's known to carry around a snack or two to help him out.
While he usually
10,000
has a limited
snacks.
supply of magical energy, a single bottle of Chateau Romani
Uh-oh.
gives him unlimited magic.
They're giving him
for
Chateau
3 whole
Romani.
days.
That's nothing compared to his mask.
These
Are they
masks
giving him
not only
Majora's
change his
Mask?
physical
Hey,
form,
Fierce
but give
Deity
him
Mask?
unique abilities, like how his Goron mask increases his strength.
Uh-oh, this is
Also,
composite
Mask
Link for
catches
real.
fire, but the Fierce Deity Mask is the best. It basically transforms him into a dark god, 10 feet tall and 100% terrifying, with inhuman strength.
Oh, this is
and
gonna
the
be
impossible
sick.
Helix sword.
Even if he
Fierce
doesn't
Deity
win.
could easily overpower Majora, who pulled the moon into the planet with enough force to destroy a continent and cause planet-wide destruction.
Well, sounds like he's got everything he needs to defend Hyrule. I mean, if you're chosen by a goddess, you gotta do what she says, right?
With the boy clad in green committed to the cause, Hyrule can breathe easy knowing it's defended by such a worthy champion.
I'm ready for this. Alright, now Cloud's update.
On the planet Gaia, run by the Shinra conglomerate, one young man wanted to be a strong protector of others, just like his hero, Sephiroth, the elite member of Soldier. This was Cloud Strife.
The troops of Soldier are awesome. They get badass paramilitary weapons and get to cast magic from materia.
Materia is a byproduct of the Lifestream, an energy source that runs through the world.
Green materia casts offensive spells, blue's for supportive spells, and yellow has commands. But red's the most powerful, because they can summon giant monsters. No wonder Cloud wanted to be a part of Soldier so bad.
But can he
I'd
use
want
summons
to,
in
too,
this?
If I could have a giant dragon god as a pet.
This is
Or are they-
Bahamut
like, are they
Fury,
considered
among the
items,
most
or are they
powerful
summons?
in Final Fantasy history, capable of annihilating a moon, a feat worth over 140 exatons of TNT.
Which Cloud totally survived after he made it into the Soldier program without any problems whatsoever. Nope, none at all. Is this too much foreshadowing?
Cloud's time as a soldier mercenary was, well, it never happened. Despite his own memories saying otherwise, Cloud actually failed to join the program at all.
Alright, bear with me here. See, Cloud had a friend, a first-class soldier named Zack Fair. They went through a bunch of wacky adventures together, then got kidnapped by some weird cultists who injected them with alien DNA and Mako energy that supercharged them. It's a long story.
Time and time again, Zack came to Cloud's rescue. Until one day, a rescue would be his final act.
But before he fell, he gifted Cloud his big old Buster Sword. Hey, what's a sword between bros? Especially when Zack had been there for Cloud so much in the past.
Like how Zack was the one who helped Cloud adjust to the fact that he had never become a member of Soldier.
Or how Cloud hadn't been the one who took the moon exploding either. That was Zack
I think this
all
is a
along.
deflection
Cloud's
or
own
misdirection.
history had affected him so much that he unintentionally took Zack's as his own.
Jeez, sounds like he needs to do some heavy self-reflection.
Cloud struggled with confidence ever since he was rejected from the Soldier program. That, combined with the trauma from being kidnapped, experimented on, and watching his best friend die, fractured his sense of self.
You know, Cloud not being who he said he was reminds me of someone, Wiz.
What are you talking about?
You know, like how you faked your identity to avoid paying all those student loans and Homeland Security is still looking for you and...
Hey, did you know, despite how the game works, Cloud can use materia without a weapon? Isn't that neat? Anyway.
So
although I
he's
think
got
his
a
memories were
stasis too.
faulty, sparked Cloud's journey of self-repair. Though he had failed to become part of Soldier, he probably shouldn't have, because he's been in many fights just as, if not more impressive than those of Zack's resume.
Remember that awesome dragon? He beat him! Bahamut's super strong, but also fast enough to fly between planets in seconds. Hell, Cloud can even fly too!
I guess. More like he's able to jump hundreds of yards up and hang in the sky and lunge around. Yeah, it's basically flight.
He can also use spirit energy for super attacks called limit breaks, like the classic Omni Slash.
He's also worn several different types of gear over the years, but the one he's consistently kept is a certain ribbon which defends him from the majority of status effects, excluding time manipulation.
He's dodged bullets, lasers, and
So,
electric attacks.
stasis can work on him.
He's casually sliced buildings in half, can cast literal nuclear explosions with his flare materia, and he even beat that handsome devil Sephiroth. I don't know how Sephi survived being impaled by a sword that's literally wider than he is, but Cloud got to kick his ass multiple times.
Even coming face to face with Sephiroth's ultimate attack, Supernova.
Along the way, Cloud also destroyed Shinra. That's one way to get back at the folks who refused to hire you. Oh, and he got an even cooler sword too. Get rid of that sentimental Buster sword, Buster, because the Fusion Sword isn't here to play.
With the Fusion Sword came a new version of Cloud. One who'd worked hard to resolve his personal issues and overcame any foe, mental or physical, in his way.
So all that, on top of beating Sephiroth 3 whole times, proves Cloud puts up one hell of a fight.
Despite Cloud's frustrating start as a young man with unattainable dreams, he grew up to become far more than he could have imagined.
After saving the world more than once, Cloud's strife deserves the hype.
Stay where you belong. In my memories.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, now before they get started, I think that they've maxed out their link. It didn't seem like there was anything that they left out, or at least anything important that they left out, that would prevent him from being able to use, like, magic armor, because of the Chateau Romani, Fierce Deity Mask. He's got the Master Sword. He's got, I think, the Force Sword. He's got all the Champion's abilities. Link looks maxed out. There were some things about this, obviously, just now getting into the Final Fantasy series I didn't know about Cloud. But I did do some research on that supernova. I thought that the supernova was an illusion, and that at best the illusion makes the person feel as if the thing is happening to them. But I don't know how you would feel that you're being obliterated. Like, how long before you would just stop feeling anything? Like, is it instantaneous? So I kind of take exception to Cloud surviving a supernova because it was an illusion, wasn't it? I'm not an expert on Final Fantasy, so if I'm wrong, let me know. But I read a lot of stuff that said that basically Sephiroth transports... and he can transport a person to a part of the universe where a supernova is happening, but are they really there, and are they really taking that damage? Because he should have obliterated him, obviously. But let's see how this goes. We got almost 7 minutes left for a fight. All right. Motorcycle.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Huh?
I didn't know Link could ride on ceiling, or what? Oh, that was Magnesis. This is pretty sick. Good grief, Cloud. Get yourself together. He actually went to go break bots. feel like that could have been it. They stasis each other. Cloud, remember, you have to focus on more than just the Master Sword. Is that the Force Sword? Alright, crap, let's go! Link doesn't get weaker when he splits. This is something else! Oh yeah! Alright, Link. This is a fight. Whoever wins, this is a fight here. You better cut him in half, Link.
Now it's your chance.
Holy mackerel. He doesn't lose speed.
Let's mosey, asshole.
Uh-oh. This may be it, folks. Okay.
Nothing to it.
Of course.
Hey-o! Guess Link thought it was time to split. Too soon? Yeah.
Link had an incredibly versatile arsenal available.
They don't do
to him,
rematches
given the
unless it's
abilities he
Goku
had
versus
from his
Superman,
various weapons and masks.
where the
Stuff
original
like the
person
Chica
wins.
Slate in Ocarina, the guy had so much to throw at Cloud that he could have easily gotten overwhelmed.
Even with that against him, Cloud could match much of Link's arsenal with both his materia and superhuman ability. Link may have won a few fights with his time stop, but so would Cloud. For our purposes of determining who would win the most often, these essentially cancel each other out.
Link's Master Sword and Triforce of Courage helped him counter some of Cloud's materia. Like, he wasn't getting turned into a toad or anything, but Cloud's ribbon could do a lot of the same, especially against those fire, ice, and shock arrows.
Since both had multiple ways to counter each other's more magic-based moves, and both had incredible healing spells, this really came down to their baser abilities.
Like how Link dodging lasers put him at a tenth the speed of light, but Cloud kept up with Bahamut, who flew between planets in 12 seconds.
Since this looks like Neptune, and considering Gaia is a stand-in for Earth, the distance between them would be 4.3 billion kilometers. To travel that distance in 12 seconds means Bahamut Fury flew at least 1,200 times the speed of light.
So while Link was smart, had more experience, and has fought foes faster than him before, Cloud could literally run circles around him without him noticing.
Link's strength and power were nothing to scoff at, especially when scaled to Majora pulling the moon into a planet and destroying a continent. That would take an energy equivalent to over 60 exatons of TNT. However, Cloud was strong enough to endure similar attacks and return the favor in a devastating way.
Like how he survived Sephiroth's supernova
I
attack.
don't buy
Guidebooks
that.
confirm that the supernova is a blast that destroys dimensional space. Technically, it occurs in another dimension where the entire solar system is annihilated, with Cloud standing right there.
It sounds crazy, but this means he can literally survive a sun exploding in his face. I mean,
No.
it really messed him up.
Didn't-
but
wasn't it
still,
just an illusion?
goddamn sun. Link's never had to deal with something of that magnitude before.
The hero of Hyrule put up an admirable fight and could certainly win in a few different ways, but Cloud's speed, strength, and powerful limit breaks meant that, more often than not, his victory was assured.
Link tried Force, but against Cloud, he had no way out.
Yeah, I knew that was a misdirection at the beginning. So, that's the battle. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know enough about Final Fantasy to know for sure if it was an illusion. But that's what I read. I read a lot of people saying that essentially it's not a real supernova happening in front of his face. It's more like he's being tricked into thinking that a supernova is happening to him and taking damage from it, but not from an actual supernova. Because I don't... Like I said, I'll figure this stuff out as I play Final Fantasy stuff more and more. But generally, there's no purpose for a remake on this channel unless it's to let the other person win, not because both characters got a new set of skills. I kind of hate that they didn't give Link his Triforce of the full Triforce, because what is it? It's Link from Adventure of Link, Link from A Link to the Past, maybe Link Between Worlds, but certainly Skyward Sword Link, the first Link, had the full Triforce. And if you're compositing a Link, I don't think you average out all of their abilities. Whoever has the strongest version of the Master Sword, you give that version of the Master Sword. Whoever has the most pieces of the Triforce, you give that. Like, if all the different Links had, I don't know, if different Links had Triforce of Wisdom, Triforce of Power, Triforce of Courage, but most Links had the Triforce of Courage, I could see you giving just the Triforce of Courage to Link. But if a few Links have had the full Triforce, I don't see why he can't get the full Triforce. Because that's why you're doing a composite Link, is it not? It was an insane fight. Like, that was all the stuff I wanted to see. They didn't hold back on Link's arsenal. But yeah, and I don't know about the whole speed of light. I think there are more examples in Breath of the Wild and Age of Calamity of Link doing light speed anything. Like, literally, you can dodge lightning in Breath of the Wild. Like, you'll still take damage from the surrounding, effects of the lightning. But if you're wearing the rubber armor, you can damage it and there's no problem. So I think that there's more evidence of Link traveling at a third the speed of light, which that's how fast lightning travels, than a tenth the speed of light. And if he can certainly travel a third the speed of light, you could make an argument for more when he's got his power-ups. And the whole Bahamut traveling 1,200 times the speed of light and Cloud being able to keep up with him, was Cloud keeping up with him when he was flying between planets, or was Cloud keeping up with some of his attacks? Because Goku can instant transmission, but Goku's punches aren't instant transmission. Like, I know that in Dragon Ball Z it says he's traveling at the speed of light, but obviously they can move faster than the speed of light anyway, like from early on in the series. So instant transmission must be a lot faster than the speed of light nowadays. So yes, Goku can use instant transmission to get where he needs to go, but can he attack at that same speed? No. He wouldn't have a need for instant transmission if all of his movements were the speed of instant transmission. So travel speed, I guess, is what is in play there. Is Bahamut traveling at a speed 1,200 times the speed of light, and then is he fighting at that same speed? Again, I don't know enough about that creature to know if that's what he's doing, but I feel like it was a kind of very simplistic measurement of both of their speed scaling. So yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. If you're a Zelda fan, do you think that this was a fairly equipped Link? I think, except for the Triforce piece, he was completely fairly equipped. He didn't have the magic armor, though. Which, why did they... No, that's a big thing. Why did they give him Chateau Romani if he's not going to have magic armor? Like, did he use any items in the game that required magic? I don't think... in the fight, that required magic. I don't think he did. The Force Sword doesn't require it. The Master Sword doesn't. Fierce Deity armor doesn't, unless you're playing Hyrule Warriors, which they said wasn't canon. Yeah, I don't know what was the point of them mentioning Chateau Romani if he's not going to use something magic-based that gives him a super enhancement. So, part of me wants to say that was just so people wouldn't bring it up later, but then why didn't you give him his invincibility? Like, why would he get that invisible cape, his magic cape, which only makes him invisible, it makes him intangible so he can't take damage, but he can't deal damage either. So why would you do that, but not give him magic armor, which has appeared in 2 games, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? I don't get that part. What was the point of the Chateau Romani? Because I don't remember seeing anything in the fight that was based on magic. It was Sheikah Slate technology, Force Sword, Master Sword, and Fierce Deity. None of that stuff runs on magic. So if this was, I don't think that Cloud can't win. That's not the point. If they had given Link that, would Cloud have won? Can you cut Link in half when he's wearing magic armor? I don't think you can. He didn't use Daruk's protection. I think I heard Mipha's voice, but we didn't see Link take enough damage from an attack to know if he needed to heal from death. So there's kind of things in this that mechanically didn't work. The fight is still awesome. Like, I don't care who won. The fight is awesome. But there are things that technically behind the scenes, I think people are going to question just as much as Final Fantasy fans question the last one. Because it is not accurate that Link was given all of his equipment in the last one and Cloud got a couple materia. Cloud got a couple materia and Link got basically his Smash Bros items. And then you give him ice arrows and Pegasus boots. He did not get his full arsenal of a composite Link. This one definitely got more stuff of a composite Link, but the stuff that would have helped him survive Cloud's attacks, like magic armor, like Daruk's protection, it didn't show up at all. So why did they mention Chateau Romani and why did they mention the champion's abilities if we don't see Rivali's Gale, if we don't see Urbosa's Fury? I don't know if Lightning would even hurt Cloud or if he's got something to dispel that. But certainly, Link's defensive capabilities was how he beat Cloud in the first one, is that he could withstand enough of Cloud's attacks to have waited for an opening. In this one, Link didn't use his defense. He really just had the Hylian shield, unless I'm crazy. I didn't see anything. So, yeah, Cloud is awesome. And I think that there are definitely, I think this fight was what it was in the beginning when they first did it. It's a 50-50, essentially. But what they kind of did this time was composite Link in a great way and mention the stuff that would help him, but then didn't give him the stuff that would have closed any gap he needed. Link is not as powerful as Cloud. I mean, it was not physically as strong as Cloud. But if you give him all those items that were kind of alluded to, he can totally survive Cloud's assaults. I mean, magic armor runs on magic. If he has Chateau Romani, which they mentioned, which I didn't think they had to mention that. It's kind of game-breaking. He gets unlimited magic for 3 days. Magic armor makes him invulnerable in Wind Waker. In Twilight Princess, he can get knocked back, but he can't take damage. So, what was the point of the unlimited magic for 3 days unless it factors into a magical ability? Unless you guys saw something that I didn't. So, this was a great fight. I just think that they kind of set themselves up for the same type of comments, but from Zelda fans this time. And I'm really trying to be fair about it. Like, I do think that Cloud could cut Link in half in an actual fight scenario. But he can't cut Link in half if Link has magic armor, which why didn't they give it to him? So this was something else, really. And it was totally worth the hype. And we got the motorcycle battle and all the stuff I wanted to see. But I feel like you should never do rematches, unless we're talking about Goku versus Superman, you should never do rematches so the other person can win. You should do rematches when both of the characters' abilities have changed enough, or you're admitting your last assessment was so wrong that you have to take another look. And they obviously didn't say their last assessment was wrong. You can assume it. But they kind of scaled Link up a lot and then didn't give anything that could have matched that. So, in essence, Link did better scaling against Cloud when they had him weaker than now that they have him at least 10 times stronger. Yeah, I'm not going to be one of those people who storms the comments and says, you didn't do this for Link. I mean, obviously, I just voiced my opinions on all this. Yeah, I think that all they're doing is they set themselves up for Zelda fans to say, wait, why did he have unlimited magic and no magic armor? I didn't see a light arrow. I saw one ancient arrow. No bullet time. No flurry rush. I kind of didn't like the usage of the time stops. Like, let's be honest. Yes, both of them have time stops. But if both of them use them at the same time, all you're basically saying to the fans is, we know both of these characters have them, and we didn't want to give one the advantage, because you would say this person won because they got their stasis first, or whatever. But both of them being frozen at the same time, nah, that was a lower part of the fight, I think. Like, at least like when you look back over it, it's like Link doesn't get one chance to use stasis. It's like a 10-second cooldown or something. I don't know what cooldowns are like in Final Fantasy or anything like that, but in essence, I think it was a really, really good fight to watch, but it's going to get dissected the same way the last one did. And essentially now both teams have, well, I won this battle and you won that battle. And until they do a rematch after Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, because Link's probably going to get some souped up ability. It's going to make him like something else with that green hand. Until the next one comes out, the Cloud fans are going to be like, well, this is the latest battle with the latest data and Cloud won. But maybe as I'm an animator, I'm a compositing artist, I'm a technical animator, I work in Unreal with cinematics. Maybe it's time I do my own. Not to, repudiate what this is, because I don't do revenge fights. Revenge fight scenarios where, my character lost, so I need to make him win. But just so that all things are accessed the way that they are, or the way that they should be, I think it would be nice. Maybe I'll try my hand at that this year. That would be a nice, fun project to tackle. Link versus Cloud in Unreal Engine cinematics. So, really, guys, let me know what you thought. If you thought this fight was fair, if you thought this fight was overdue, if you thought the last verdict was wrong, if you agree with me that they did leave out some stuff that could have helped Link survive that last attack, yeah, let me know what you think, and if you agree with it. And if you're a Final Fantasy fan and you were waiting for this, congratulations. If you're a Final Fantasy fan and you think that stuff was left out on either side, I'd also like to hear that. So, yeah, watch this fight. If you don't have Rooster Teeth, watch this fight when it comes out on YouTube. Give them a like. I love this stuff with Death Battle. Even if I don't agree with a verdict, this is the fan fiction or the fan universe stuff that we want to see. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got.